On today's episode, I sit down with Dr. Liz and answer all kinds of questions about what I've been up to the last 20 years. I share about all the great stuff USU Extension has to offer to help families, including specific resources to help people thrive in their life, parenting, and marriage journeys. From apps to free assessments and websites to webinars, I open up and share where to go on today's show for the best we have on family and relationship tips and tools. My daughter Mallory even hops on at the end to share more about positivity journals we recently released together. We hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to Stronger Marriage Connection. We've got the psychologist and the professor. I'm Dr. Liz Hale, along with my friend and colleague, Dr. Dave Schramm. Together, we have dedicated our life's work to bringing you the best we have in valid marital research, along with a few tips and tools to help you create the marriage of your dreams. And today, we're going to turn the tables just a little bit, and I'm going to be interviewing our own Dr. Dave as he shares a bit more about what he's been doing for the last 20 years. I can't keep up with him, actually, including several of the resources that he offers. So to start things off, I'd love to get to know a bit more of your story, Dr. Dave, and tell us about the Schramm fam and why did you dive into the area of strengthening families and what does extension mean? We'd love to know everything.
Yeah, Liz, I'm excited to just share a little bit about the background, some resources, extension, a little bit about the Schramm fam and my career path. It began right years and years ago where a lot of the students, Liz, I work with at the university at Utah State, they say, Dr. Dave, I just want to help people. I don't know what I want to do exactly, but I want to help people. And I received that. I had those same feelings as an undergraduate at BYU. And I felt like the only thing to do to help people, at least that I knew of at the time, was marriage and family therapy. And so I started headed that direction. I was the president of the Pre-Marriage and Family Therapy Student Association at BYU and was just gung-ho. I wanted to save the world. I wanted to save marriages and families. And I think really that stems back from my own parents' marriage. It was amazing, just raised in a very, very grateful for my parents, for the example they set. I have 4 older sisters, a younger brother. And I feel like, wow, I want all people to be able to have what I have experienced. I recognize that many, maybe even most, don't have that type of experience. And so I wanted to go to marriage family therapy. And then I learned that my career path changed, Liz. It was my senior year at BYU. I went to a conference. Back then it was called Smart Marriages Conference. Now it's called NARMI, right? The National Association for Relationship and Marriage Education. It was in Denver. And I remember listening and learning about relationship and marriage education and prevention and how to help things go right instead of what to do when things go wrong. And then I just lit up, honestly. I thought, I found it. This is my passion. This is how I want to help people. And so I discovered extension. I didn't know what that was. I had heard of 4-H. I think a lot of people are familiar with 4-H, but I didn't realize at the time, and many perhaps don't as well, that extension literally means extending the resources to the communities, to people, to lay audiences. And there's at least one university in every state that is a land grant university. So part of its mission, in addition to research and teaching, is extending resources out to people. So that's really the quick version of the career path. Many people assume.
So you teach in the classroom.
Yes, I teach in the classroom.
Outside the classroom.
Outside the classroom. And I would say actually more outside the classroom. When I tell people, hey, I'm a marriage and family guy, they say, oh, so you're a counselor, a therapist. I'm like, actually, yeah, not a therapist. Therapy is absolutely needed. I just like to do more of the prevention and education, traveling, speaking and helping people. So that's really what I do is I take the research and then I develop resources and then get it out to the masses in whatever ways I can, with the podcast, right? Being one of those ways of sharing research and resources to people. So Liz, when you say, we're helping people create the marriage of our dreams, I truly see myself as having the career of my dreams, right? I get to help people with research and resources in extension. So that's a little bit about what I do here at USU.
That's fantastic, Dave. You have a huge following, Dr. Dave. So people are going to be so interested in hearing more about you today. on our podcast. Tell me this, what do you enjoy most about the work you do with Utah State and the extension, please?
Yeah, I love so much about what I do. I think part of it is the focus on, really my focus lives on three areas, I would say. It's on positivity, positive psychology, this whole happiness and flourishing and wellness literature for the last 2 decades that's exploded. I love that area. And then I love the area of parenting and then couple relationships. So, and I see those really related: positivity, parenting, marriage and family, couple of relationships. So those are the three main areas that I focus on. But I really love the creativity, the ability to kind of shut things down and get focused and say, hey, what would be helpful with this? What is a great question or learning activity or curriculum or a talk or something that I can give in a creative way to help people who are struggling. So that's what I love. I'll give a couple examples of that, Liz. I've been here at USU for, 8 years this summer. And prior to that, I was at the University of Missouri for 9 years as an extension family life specialist. There, I created a curriculum, for example. It's called Strong Parents, Stable Children. There's a 4-hour version for professionals who work with families. And then there's an 8-hour version for families who just want to take that. And so some of these resources that I've developed, in fact, most of everything I've developed is absolutely free. It's online. We'll make sure to put these in the show notes at strongermarriage.org is really where you can go to see some of those resources that I've developed. I want to share a little bit about a couple of these, Liz, that I think that are just not as well known, that I think that can really be helpful. For the past few years, I've worked with, it's called the Maloof Foundation. They're actually here in Cache Valley. They do so much good. You know, they do furniture and mattresses and beds and that kind of stuff. But they have another arm of that they do with Clay Olson, and he's founded what's called the Impact Suite, the Impact Initiative, this collective. And they have all of these resources to help people with their mental health struggles, with addictions, with drugs, with pornography. I was able to help with a couple of their apps. These apps, for example, the Climb app. So you can find that on all the app. Download that on all those places where you can download apps. The one I want to talk about, though, is a free one called Raise. And this is a parenting one that I was able to help with. You can find it at joinraise.com. And we'll put that in the show notes as well, joinraise.com. It's this app that I was one of several scholars and consultants who helped with the development of this. We knew that parents were struggling with technology and phones, and hey, how old is my child, and what are they into, and cyberbullying. So we created an app. Their team did with some of our help. And it really focuses on the first part of it focuses on building that parent-child relationship, and then we really tackle some of these tough topics related to screen time balance and online predators. Inappropriate content, even cyberbullying. And they've done it really professional with all kinds of guides and helps to help parents. So that's an example of the types of programs that I've been able to help create here at USU and at Missouri. I mentioned the strongmarriage.org. We'll put that in show notes, as well as another one, and that's relationships.usu.edu, relationships.usu.edu. And there you can find the curriculum I was talking about, the parenting curriculum. You can find, given a TED Talk, you can find all kinds of resources. In fact, if you go to the resources tab on that website, there's actually a little tab that says Dr. Dave, and you can click on that. And it shows basically everything that I've done in the last 20 years. I've put on there articles, blog posts, so much on there that I just want to get it out to families to help them succeed.
You're making a difference in this big world, my friend, Dr. Dave. I know you. I'm just so impressed. I'm one of your big fans. I know you've also been involved with Utah's Governor Spencer Cox, and his Disagree Better initiative. Tell us what you've been doing there. Gosh, I'd love to hear everything about it.
Yeah, this is for those who are in Utah, maybe even outside of Utah. If you paid attention to the news and what Governor Spencer Cox is his real initiative. He's the chair of the National Governors Association this year. And then each of them have this kind of their initiative, their drive, their emphasis area. And his has been on disagree better. And he's been on commercials and other governors and talking about, hey, there's a lot of meanness. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of hate and disagreement. And we can disagree, right? It's okay to disagree. In fact, it's healthy, actually, healthy disagreement. It's okay to be able to disagree. So with this initiative of his, I was asked to collaborate with some scholars at the Wheatley Institute at Brigham Young University to create a parenting toolkit. And so I created this content that's actually 3 online modules. Again, it's all free. You can find it at disagreebetter.usu.edu. So disagreebetter.usu.edu. Check it out. And there's these 3 modules. They're about maybe 20 to 30 minutes, depends on how long you want to take. The first one talks about how it starts with us as parents, really within us, taking an honest self-evaluation of ourselves. Where do we stand? What kind of example are we setting? What are my values? What do I want to teach? How am I living my life? The second module talks about, okay, how can parents help their children to disagree better inside the home as family members? Because, man, we're going to bump heads. We're going to disagree between couples, partners, spouses, or their children. And then the third one talks about how we can learn to disagree better with those outside of our home, from referees, right? When we're the fan in the stands, to our children getting along with others, friends, teammates, even bullies, that type of a level of disagreement. So I've really tried to break it down into simple scenarios, tips. There's even some little self-assessments that people can take. So I'm excited for those 3. I'm actually traveling to Nashville here soon, and to be able to share this at a National Government Association meeting, with other governors and those around.
Oh, that's so thrilling. And you just remember where you came from, Dr. Dave.
Oh, man, don't
forget us all back here.
Trying to do my small part to
it's so great.
World.
Yeah, it is not so small, my friend. I'm curious about the bullying. Do you mind if I ask you what are just some of those quick tips you might have? I mean, should you kind of take a stand when you're being bullied? Should you strike back? Should you go get help? Should you try to, turn the other cheek? What's the best suggestion these days?
Yeah, this one is such a tough one because it happens everywhere, in person. And I would say cyberbullying is even more common because it's secretive. We can kind of say things. It's easier to say things online than in person.
The bullying doesn't just happen with children, right? It's happening with adults.
Man, Liz, it's exploding. It's just so easy to make a snarky comment or on social media on a post, for example, Instagram or Facebook, to say just mean, hurtful things, unkind things. So the natural kind of we want to react. I talked about the difference between being a nuclear reactor or a first responder. Learning to kind of pause. Don't take the hook. If something gets your blood boiling, take a breath and don't react, because typically our first response, whether it's the text or we want to comment on something, or we see something we disagree with, or our child's being bullied and we just want to, go ballistic, and mama bear comes out, we want to stand up for them. We hope that depending on the situation, most parents, if they'll kind of pause and help understand, listen to their child. Because many children don't want to tell their parents because exactly that. It'll make things worse, and the parent will get involved and go to the principal. So that's more of a last resort. So it's listening. It's helping to understand their perspective, and then coming up with some suggestions. For example, not biting back, whether it's in the text or firing back online or in person. So typically ignoring until it gets to the point of, okay, something does need to be said to a teacher, to an adult, someone else who can help that. But typically responding, that's what a bully wants, is this, response. They love this cycle. It's just kind of this power and control, even within this dynamic and friends and relationships and bullies. So can we walk away? Can we ignore it? Trying those types of things first before then kind of raising it to the next level. Hurtful, mean. It's sad, Liz. You and I both know people died by suicide because of some mean.
The pain is extreme.
Extreme. The feeling of rejection is as painful. Yeah, they've done studies. You're aware of these. That is physical pain. That isolation, rejection. So it is. So when does a parent step in? When they see, a child is struggling, grades are dipping, they're not as social, they're sad. And that can be many things, mental health and things, but just to check in regularly with your child, observe, notice any kind of changes that are happening in their lives, friendships, those types of sudden mood swings and changes. And then, open that conversation. And if necessary, do get involved. At the school level, if need be.
Yeah, all good things. I love how you join your forces with other universities, other professors, other professionals. It's so exciting. There's a strength in numbers, like with Wheatley Institute.
Yeah.
And I just think that's just awesome. You've also been involved with the Utah Marriage Commission, something very near and dear to both of us. Of course, it sponsors this very podcast. Tell us more about the free resources and where listeners can find them.
Yeah, we're trying to get this best kept secret in Utah and beyond out there, aren't we, Liz? Part of that is the Utah Marriage Commission. You've been involved long before I was. You served as...
Only because I'm older, Dave. You don't have to point that out. All right.
That's right. And the experience. So I've been serving on it these past 8 years since I arrived at Utah State. I was appointed by Governor Herbert and now serve on this commission. And now that we're serving as the host. So things have changed about 4 years ago, and we are now the host of the commission. And so we were responsible for a lot of the resources, developing the resources, sharing, getting the word out about conferences and marriage weeks and fun things that happen around the state. The hub of this, again, is strongermarriage.org. So if our viewers, listeners have not been to that website, they need to go and visit. They'll find that if they visit frequently, things are changing. We're adding all kinds of content. I'm excited to share a little bit about what we're putting together. Some of the stuff that's been on there for a little while that you need to access are our webinars. We've been doing webinars about 2 a month for the last 2 years. So dozens of webinars. These are free, and to be able to listen to watch and learn from some of the best minds, therapists, family scholars, not only in Utah, but beyond. We also have blogs, articles. We have what's called the Relate assessment. This is absolutely free for Utahns. This is absolutely free. If not, it's between $20 and $40 to take it. So go to strongermarriage.org and take this assessment. What this is, it's essentially, it's not necessarily a compatibility test, but it's a list of questions, over 100, I think over 240 questions that each person answers on their own. And it ranges from in-laws and money and conflict and sexual intimacy and how you view things. And then the other partner takes it, merges them together and says, hey, here's some areas that you may want to discuss, that you may feel differently about the role of family or extended family in your decisions, or one's a saver and one might be a spender. And so it brings up some common areas that you may want to discuss. So the Relate assessment. I'm super excited, Liz, though, about our eCourses. This is relatively new. We're on a mission to these first 100. We're on a mission really ultimately to create 200 eCourses. On the 3 topics I talked about earlier, on happiness, positivity, on parenting, on marriage. And when I say these eCourses, we call them e-lessons. They're short, Liz. They're 15 minutes. So these 15-minute little chunks, really dialing in on struggles. What are parents struggling with like a 4 or 6 year old, or what are they struggling with a child with special needs? We're actually drilling down into very specific videos so we can answer the questions that parents and couples are struggling with. And then we have these longer courses. Some of these are up to 2, 4, 6, even 8 or longer hours that you can take related to step families. There's one on newlywed. There's one on thinking about divorce, sexual mindfulness, all kinds of these longer journeys of these e-courses that people can take on their own. And again, if you're in Utah, they're absolutely free. So go check it out, strongermarriage.org. You'll also see the podcast here and all kinds of other free resources sponsored by the Utah Marriage Commission.
Oh, that's exciting. Wow. You know what I love about Relate is that it's good for couples who are dating, engaged, or even long time married.
Yeah.
It's really a little bit for everyone. I think that's just so cool about that.
Yes. Yeah.
And I love that it's free here in Utah. Thank you for that reminder. I forget about that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know, Dave, you're also a big fan of positive psychology as well. Talk to us about your happy hacks approach, my friend. You've got all these clever sayings.
Yeah, I absolutely love. I just get giddy when I talk about this. I absolutely love this area that Martin Seligman, kind of the father of positive psychology, back in 1998, early 2000s. He was the president of the the Psychology Association back, the APA, and he said, you know what, we've got to look past more this deficit, the sickness model to wellness, and to see what happy people are doing, so we can do more of that. I love that approach of flourishing, of wellness, of positive psychology. Mindfulness is part of that. This gratitude. So what I really did is I took the last 20 years of research in positive psychology, and I've created these happy hacks types of presentations. I've given over 200 of these across the United States, all kinds of organizations, universities, high school assemblies, talking about happiness, well-being, preventing suicide. So it's really, it's been thrilling. I created short little videos as well. So bookmarks and actually a curriculum. It's called Road to Happiness and Meaning. So that is available. It's available on Healthy Relationships Utah. So Healthy Relationships Utah. I'm spitting out all of these websites. We'll put them in the show notes. The Healthy Relationships Utah is a hub for all free classes, high schools. We're in the prisons and the jails for parents, single parents, couples, dating. Yeah, all kinds of information. And then we just added the curriculum I created called Road to Happiness and Meaning. It's an 8-hour course in 4 2-hour chunks is how it's typically taught. And it just combines everything we know in relationships and happiness, managing stress, mental health, all combined into one curriculum.
Amazing. And you don't look like you're lacking sleep. You look really healthy to me, but I don't know how you do it all, my friend.
Oh, yeah. I love this area.
It's impressive. Isn't it wonderful when you are passionate about something? I so get it.
Makes all the difference.
And you've also created, Dave, Dr. Dave, a YouTube channel. Is that right?
Yeah, people are on YouTube. And I thought, especially during the pandemic, where were people, Liz? They were on their phones. And so Rex, our amazing, right? He's behind the scenes. He'll probably pop on here at the end. Rex has helped. He came over here with his camera and all during the pandemic and set up his lights and camera. And we recorded over 100. Now there's over 200 videos on YouTube. Most of these are short, between 2 and 5 minutes. These short little Tuesday tips, or Thrive in 5 minutes or less, tips on happiness, on parenting and marriage. And so people can check out the YouTube channel, Dr. Dave Schramm, I think on YouTube, and it should come up. Again, just another way of getting information out there.
I'm learning so much more about you, my friend. Really a treat to spotlight you today. What about social media, Dave? Where do you share there, please?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, sharing tips all about, again, those 3 areas of positivity, parenting, relationships. How can we thrive? So yeah, I share things on social media all the time. I actually have on Facebook a couple of Facebook groups for parents. One called Parenting Made Simple and Marriage Made Simple. Another group on Facebook. So yeah, active on social media. Just another way to get information out there.
That's nice. Monday memes. Is Monday memes on Instagram?
Yeah, that is right. Yeah, my Monday memes. Yeah, people like those Monday
people
memes.
Love that. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be right back after this brief message. And we're back. Well, let's dive right in.
We're back from the break, and Mallory is now joining us. Tell us, you two, about this wonderful brand new resource for college students and mental health you created with another daughter as well. We've got Mallory joining us, and also Aubrey weighed in on this great book. I actually happen to have it here.
Yeah,
my copy finally came, so I really hope to get some signatures from you. But Journal Your College Journey. I think it's excellent. I have been out of school for a long time now, and this is a great resource for anyone, in my opinion. Tell us about it. How did this all start, Mallory and Dave?
Yeah, so I can talk about it just a little bit, but I recently returned home from my mission for my church in December. And when I got back, I was planning on starting school in January. And I remember having a conversation with my dad, kind of talking about struggles that college students have. And I remember looking back into my freshman year, because I did a year of school before my mission. And I remember just kind of looking back, thinking about the struggles that college students really do go through, whether it's relationships, grades, mental illness and mental health issues, positivity and stuff like that. And so we started talking, and we thought it'd be a really neat idea to create a journal that's just chock full of information, hacks, tips, and stuff like that to be able to help college students kind of just ease into college for their first time.
I think it is just so great. You know, one of my favorite things is really the QR codes you've added to some of the best TED Talks. Hopefully, Dr. Dave, your TED Talk's in here too. Is that right?
Yeah. I
yeah, excellent.
Get in there. Yeah,
I hope so. I hadn't come across it just yet, but it's excellent. It's one resource, and it's good for 2 years. It's really for your first 2 years of college. If we're going to just look at college students, Dave, this must have been a treat to do with your daughters.
It was so fun, really, to be able to, because she has her real world experience that's current. And I have more of the experience as a professor to see college students going through this struggle. So to be able to come up with, Monday manners and Tuesday tips, happy hacks on Wednesday, and throw in, stress busters and myths and realities. And then, like you said, those links to the TED Talks, we just thought, what are the best gems out there that we can put in that students can listen to help them on their journey? So yeah, the top is year one. And then year two, they go back and they can actually look at year one and say, wow, back in February, whatever, this is what I was experiencing. So they can look at their journey as they go across.
Yeah. So that's year one is on the top half. Year two is on the second bottom half. That's just so clever that you thought to do that. Mallory, what are you most proud of about this journal?
I think something I'm most proud of is I really like that it's something to focus on every day. So on Mondays, for example, we have Monday manners. And basically what that is it's what it is. It's a manner for college students to be able to look at, whether it's about going to a party or going to someone's house just for whatever, and stuff like that. It's just something super.
Or living with roommates, right?
Living with roommates or how to treat professors and stuff like that. And then Tuesday we go on to tips for success, and Wednesday, and we have like a theme for every day. So it kind of makes it fun that it's not just a blank line journal and you're just like, okay, here's what happened today. It's more of like, you can question yourself and be like, here's the theme for today. Like, what am I learning from today?
Yeah, I think, Liz, that maybe today's day and age, it's, they see blank lines and it may feel like, okay, what am I supposed to write about today? But we actually have prompts and things for them to think about, and it's manageable, right? It's not an entire page. It's a half a page. And even that, it's these little sections. Then get into the habit of just jotting those down, because we know from the research that is really helpful, that people who journal regularly are happier. They're more productive. They're more successful. And so I'm actually launching a big study this fall at USU to really see how this goes. So one group will get the journal, others will get a regular journal, and a third group, Liz, will not get anything, and we'll compare across an entire semester. Yeah, to really see. So we hope to be able to show that this journal could be a real game changer.
Wow, that is really something, you two. And you're not stopping here. It looks like you're just going to take this into other arenas. Tell us more. What's next? What's the next published journal going to be?
We're super excited right now. We've been working for a while on another journal. We have several ideas for just a bunch of different journals to create in the future, but we're going one by one, and we just created a missionary journal for missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And it's going to be a similar thing to what's in this college journal. It's going to have prompts. It's going to have little tips and hacks for missionaries. And we're super excited about it. We actually finished it yesterday and recently, and we're going to plan to upload it onto Amazon here soon. So we're really excited for people to be able to take that and take it to their missions and see what it can do for them.
That is very cool. My understanding is going to be one for sister missionaries and one for elders, because the time frame is different.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait to get my hands on that. I've already ordered 4 books for college seniors.
Oh my goodness.
Those who are graduating. And then I have about that many more I'd love to order for missionaries. And then newlyweds is another one that's coming up. Aubrey will really be helpful with that, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's on the docket next, and one for military spouses, and then just a general one for anyone on
just life,
on happiness and positivity.
Just life. I'm glad to hear that, because to me that's what this one was. I think this is just life. I learned so much. I'm going to keep it handy. I really do appreciate that. Anything else, Dave, Mallory? I haven't asked you that you wish you'd like to talk about. Anything else?
I just think, Liz, this is a time when unprecedented. We're experiencing a mental health crisis. I've seen the research in college students. It's off the roof. It's at actually record levels, especially for those college students who are struggling with mental health, depression, anxiety, even thoughts of suicide. So we're really just trying to help with, I call it the drip method, Liz. It's just drip. Today, here's a thought. Tomorrow, here's a thought. Just this, if we get in the habit of surrounding ourselves with positive people, positive thoughts, influences, and this is just one method, kind of a drip method of engaging people to write down a little bit, read something, do something, say something that will be a positive influence in their lives.
Oh, that's just really impressive. Well, we love it, as you know, at this point of our conversation on Stronger Marriage Connection, we love to talk about the takeaway of the day. So, Dr. Dave, can I start with you? What is your takeaway of the day? And then, Mallory, I'd love to hear yours.
Yeah, I think my takeaway, Liz, is really small. We've said it before, small things often. The second one, Liz, that comes to mind actually is the ability to look outward for resources. There's so much. We know more today than at any other time in history. There's more available to us to help us in our journeys of parenting, our marriage journeys, our life journeys. And the paradox actually is that there's so much, because there's so much more, it's harder to find the best stuff, but you have to really search for it because there's so much choices. What's really the best stuff? As an extension specialist, that's my job. I get to search out all the best stuff and say, hey, here, Utahns or others, here's the best stuff. Here's the good research-based stuff. So that's really a takeaway is, hey, there's so many resources out there. Visit the websites that I talked about that are in the show notes, because the best of the best is what we try to gather and provide.
Wonderful. So if our friends and family, they go to Stronger Marriage Connection, and then the show notes for this particular show, is that where it will be?
Yeah, strongermarriage.org. So strongermarriage.org.
Strongermarriage.org.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They'll have all the resources there. The Healthy Relationships Utah, the relationships.usu.edu. Yeah. So all kinds of websites that we'll put in the show notes.
Very good. So when you said show notes, that's not on Stronger Marriage Connection?
Yeah, I believe that they can go to the podcast and they click on the podcast, and they can, the show notes will be there. They can find this on YouTube, where they can actually watch us. If our listeners haven't been on YouTube, we do put this on YouTube. Our show notes will be there as well. But any of the podcast platforms are the show notes as well. Yeah.
It's the only reason why I do my hair and makeup is because we have YouTube. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing that. Just want you to know.
We'd be in our
Mallory. What's that, Mallory?
I just said we'd all be in our pajamas if that was.
That's right. That's right. We would be. You get a chance to do that, maybe, Mallory, working at home, right? You don't have to get gussied up too much. Good for you. Gosh, I think that's such a benefit. What is your takeaway today, Mallory? Listening in maybe to your dad and all the good things he's bringing in, as well as this journal.
I think for me, just talking about the journal a little bit, what he said at the beginning stuck out to me. I like how it is just something small every day. I think that's important. I think it's important for the journal, having a different prompt every single day, something to ask yourself about, something to grow a little bit more, to even boost your mood at the beginning or end of your day. And then I think that goes a little bit more outwards towards life as well, doing something small every single day to better yourself, whether it's, exercising or eating right or things like that, to kind of just boost your mood and help yourself stay positive.
Oh, wow. All those flashbacks at Utah State, where I would have loved to have had a journal like this. So I'm so happy for freshmen today that get a chance, freshmen and sophomore, really, and anybody else. Yeah. That is my takeaway, I suppose, my friends, is, as you said, Dave, all three of us really, the drip, drip, drip. We might think that it's not enough, but it's amazing, isn't it? With just a little bit consistently, it goes a very long way.
Yeah, sure does.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure, Dr. Dave and Mallory, Schramm. It's just been delightful having you on. That's all for now, our friends. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Do remember, it's the small changes that create a stronger marriage connection. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us today. Hey, do us a favor and take a few minutes to subscribe to our podcast and the Utah Marriage Commission YouTube channel, where you can watch this and every episode of the show. When you hit the like button and leave a comment, your feedback helps us improve the show. And don't forget to share this episode with a friend. You can also follow and connect with us on Instagram at Stronger Marriage Life and on Facebook at Stronger Marriage. Be sure to share with us what topics you want us to explore or what you loved about today's episode. If you want even more resources to improve your relationship connection, visit our website at strongermarriage.org, where you'll find free workshops, webinars, relationship surveys, and more. Each episode of Stronger Marriage Connection is hosted and sponsored by the Utah Marriage Commission at Utah State University. And finally, a big thanks to our producers Rex Polanis and Alexis Alcott and the team at Utah State University. And you, our audience, you make this show possible.